Is there a way to craft your architectural portfolio not only for the job that you've done, but possibly the job you want as well? I think there is, and I argue that you probably should. This is a third in a three-part series. The first two really talk about the psychology of hiring and why that's necessary to build the portfolio that you actually need, which is the second video. And in this video, I really want to put the cherry on top and help you get not only just a job and interviews, but interviews with the companies you want for the types of jobs that you want. The first thing, I think, be realistic, right? If the job you want is, principal of, the biggest firm in the world, and you're, just graduating, you're not going to get it. There's a 70-30 rule, which I like. I didn't come up with it, but it's pretty common in the HR world. If you've done 100% of the job already, people are going to be a little suspicious. The reason for that is because people, when they land, if they've already done it, they get bored. They want to move on. And a lot of times companies, if they're hiring for something, they actually want you to do the job that they're hiring you for a while, right? So there needs to be some runway. And similarly, obviously, if you've never done the job, they're not going to hire you for it, right? If you're a baker, they're not going to hire you to be a principal of an architecture firm. 70-30 tends to be the right mix. Maybe 60-40, maybe 80-20, but the idea being ensure that your portfolio reflects that weightedness of 70%. You can't forget the 70%, the meat and potatoes of what you're going to be doing, and it gives you a little bit of room to stretch into that next position. Step two is really allow your portfolio to demonstrate that you can do what you want to do. It sounds obvious, but a lot of times I'll get a portfolio and I'll say, oh, this is a great portfolio. I'm very excited. I'll call the candidate. I'll say, hey, I think your portfolio is great. You look good. What do you want? What are you looking for? And they'll say, oh, I want to be, a designer or something like that. I want to be a design director. I say, oh, really? I mean, your portfolio doesn't really reflect that. And they said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you've got kind of working drawings, you've got some renderings. It's just sort of a pretty basic portfolio. It doesn't really scream designer to me. And they said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, in the sense that a designer is going to be taking a client's problem, they're going to be iterating it through a process to get to the building, right? So again, if you want to be a designer, I need to see how you think in that regard, right? So what was that initial sketch? What was the client problem? What was the initial sketch? How did that sketch, move throughout the process? How do you think? How do you approach a problem? You want to be a technical designer? Okay, so what was the problem that you encountered with this facade piece, and how did you strategically design your way around that? You want to be a senior technologist? Show me your most complex technical work that you've done. Don't just give me a full working drawing set. Pick, choose, narrate, show me that you can do what it is you want to be doing. As architects, you have so much work you've done, I'm sure, and to fit it all into 20 pages is very difficult. So be selective around what you choose and allow it not only to do the 70% that you've done, but maybe flirt at that 30%. So really use those 20 or 30 pages to be extremely strategic, not only to, as we saw in the second video, tailor your work to them, show the evidence for what you've done, speak about your experience as well in a way that is, communicated well, but also infuse that in a direction that allows you to go in the way that you want to as well. The third thing, this is kind of a real cherry on top. Is there something that you can do to show just how interested you are? Because people want to hire people that want to work for them. Why? Because as we saw in the first video, it's about risk, right? If one person's just flipping the same thing out to everybody, it doesn't show that they're invested. If they can't take the time to tailor their portfolio in a specific direction for a specific company, it doesn't show that they really want it. And if somebody really wants it, if they really want to stay there, they're going to be a safer bet than somebody who just kind of flips something over. So to that end, I haven't seen this done before, but to my mind, did they win a bid recently for a daycare, a net zero daycare? Is there something that you could sketch to show that you have a propensity for this vertical? Maybe the opening of the portfolio is styled in their capacity. And you might even critique one of their buildings, or you might, I don't know, let your mind run. I'm not saying it's going to work, but I'm saying, gosh, is it better than nothing? If you can be realistic about what you're going for and the amount of room for growth you're shooting for, you can give evidence and help tell a narrative that you are capable of doing that. And then maybe, just maybe, going that extra layer above and beyond to showcase just how much you want to work there and limit the risk that you're just going to be this person who joins and leaves, because you've demonstrated you really want it. So at recruitmentconfidential.com, you'll be able to download the toolkit. Appreciate your time. Bye-bye.